Happy New Year's, 2022. Let's see what kind of year we gonna have. Past two ain't been worth a damn, but we'll be optimistic. Maybe things will work good this year. I don't know. Well, I don't have a whole lot going on. I'm getting all kind of glare off of that light. I'm out here just piddling around in the yard. It is 82 degrees and about 78, 79% humidity. It is humid as crap down here in South Kakalaki. Make a fat boy sweat, which is what I'm doing. But here we go. I decided to do a little bit of shooting. Pull out an old girl. This is a Moss 45 bolt action 22 rifle. My pop bought this gun back in the 80s, and originally at the end of World War II, 1945, when France took over their section of Germany, I guess, they had a factory. Well, the factory made weapons for the German military. Well, they also made a 22 caliber training rifle for the German military that very closely resembled the K98K. And the French decided they liked that. So they still had the German engineers and all stuff there. So they made a few changes to it, and they produced it. And I think the first ones that were produced there still had German proof and stamps and wording on it. Mine is the one I've got that my pop left me is actual French. It's MAS, oval around that, 45. Well, this gun was meant to mimic the Mausers of the day. France changed up a few little things on it, and to make it resemble their weaponry just a little bit more. But this is one heavy 22 rifle. It is almost identical to a German Mauser in weight and very near in operation. Not exactly. You can't make a 22 operate like a centerfire rifle, but heavy bolt. Heavy bolt. Bolt locks in two places, in, down, and this one actually hadn't been fired all that much in all these years. Still stiff. You got a heavy lug there that locks with the bolt handle, and a lug on this side that locks. It comes apart just like a German Mauser. Pull that lever up, pull the bolt out. That's on fire. That's on safe, just like the Mauser. It even has Mauser style military grade peep sight that will elevate out to 150. This is France, so it's meters, not yards. This thing is fun to shoot. I love it. When my pop bought it, back in the late 80s, it came in a wooden crate, packed in a bag that was filled with Cosmoline. That was my days of being free labor, so I had to sit out in the shop and clean this thing up. That was my job, if I wanted to eat dinner that night anyway. It has a little removable magazine. These magazines are actually still available. A little bit pricey, but you can buy them. Holds 5 rounds. It shoots wonderfully. Very heavy and balanced. Matter of fact, I'm fixing to weigh it. I got a scale right here. And see if I can get enough room on the bench here to actually weigh the doggone thing. Let's see what we got. Doggone it, I'm catching it here. 8.12 pounds for this 22 rifle. It is made out of good hard wood. I would almost want to say that might even be persimmon. Everything on it is Parkerized. There's no bluing on the gun. There's no paint on the gun. It's all military Parkerized. Steel butt plate. It has got an extremely crisp trigger. I mean, that trigger lets off good. The only drawback I have with this gun is the older I get, my eyesight gets worse. And I don't do all that well with peep sights, not to mention the fact that I'm not near as steady as I used to be. Maybe if I'd lose a few pounds, I might could remedy some of that. But we're going to go out here and we're going to shoot this thing. And it is just a blast. It is solid as a rock. I mean, I don't think that you could find a military training .22 rifle any finer than this one. I mean, you just really can't do it. And another thing is, everything nowadays, everybody wants to be tactical. If it ain't an AR-15 or a semi-automatic or whatever, they don't want to shoot it. They don't want nothing to do with it. Well, that gets people away from actually true marksmanship. I have my share of little tactical toys, and I shoot this stuff all the time. I rarely ever pull them other ones out the safe, honestly. This teaches you patience. It teaches you to take your time on your shots. It teaches you true marksmanship, which people are forgetting what true marksmanship is. I used to be a really good marksman, but with my failing eyesight, not so much anymore. Don't make the mistake of coming on my property. I can still hit you. Pray I never have to do that, but I can't drive tacks like I used to. But I still have fun getting out shooting, especially these old girls. So I'm going to go set up out there on the range, and we're going to pop this thing off a few times. And it's just a great little gun to shoot. I love it.
We're going to start this session off with a little alcohol abuse. I'm going to run back to the 50-foot mark, and we're going to throw a little bit of lead with this old girl. Alright, now I'm going to go right back to the 50-foot mark. We're going to throw it this little small gun. Alright, now we're going to go back to the 50-foot, do some slow fire on this here target, and this is where my not so great eyesight starts to really show itself. Good enough for a squirrel, but not good enough to win any money.
Well, there she is. Moss 45 .22 rifle. Old military training rifle. Shoots great. Excellent rifle to teach young kids on to shoot. Teach them safety. Teach them etiquette for the range. Teach them marksmanship, teach them muscle memory, and all that stuff that goes along with it. That is an excellent rifle for that. But the only drawback is you're not going to teach a really young shooter with that one, just because it's heavy. But when you get into teenage and adult years, you can teach somebody extreme accuracy with that because it is heavy. Conceived real recoil is just non-existent with that rifle, and that trigger for an out-the-box in 1945, that's an old gun, and it's got one of the crispest triggers you'll ever find. That's back when they actually made stuff and worried more about quality than money, which is a real problem nowadays. If you want a good trigger nowadays, you got to buy a gun, then you got to go out and buy a whole separate trigger group. But if you can come across one, you won't do bad buying it. Now I got to clean it up, and I hope the rest of y'all it just completely enjoys, has a great new year, and I hope the entire new year is just perfect for you. That's what we're all praying for. Well, until we talk again, y'all have a great day, and we'll holler at you later.